Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video in our series of trying to see if we can beat different LEGO games without changing characters. Today we're going to go ahead and do the LEGO Ninjago movie. Because why not? And frankly, I am ashamed to admit, I kind of forgot that this was actually a game, so yeah. Anyway, so you start out with a tutorial, which is combat against a chicken. But you really don't change here at all, so I'm going to kind of skip over this section. But of course, I did end up having a boss fight against the chicken. One thing to note is you can make the boss fights a lot easier, and I'll show you how a little bit later, but I wanted you to actually get to see the fact that Lloyd is beating up a chicken on a mannequin. Oh boy. Alrighty, so first up, you know how it goes. Garmadon launches an attack with some aquatic friends, mechs. Not entirely sure why it's shark-themed. But the first little section that you do is actually an on-rails vehicle section. So again, it's one of those where you don't need to change whatsoever. You only really start playing out is whenever you're Kai and Cole and you're trying to get to your mechs because they can't remember how to park because they need to artificially lengthen the game. May not even give us a little bit of combat in their mechs, but you know what? I appreciate the combat in this game because, well, they tried to do something different. And, I can applaud them for that. It may not be as great, but you know what? It is what it is. Anyway, let's start it. We get our first official change to Cole, and then you get to take a guy into the fucking stratosphere with this. No wonder he falls to pieces. I'm surprised we don't either. It's insane. Then we got a few more changes scattered here and about. The rules are pretty simple. Anytime I change, we get a point. You take down Garmadon and Lloyd's mech. I'm pretty sure I changed here, but I couldn't remember, so I'm counting it. And then here, Wu shows us the weapon, including the ultimate weapon, which Lloyd, of course, wants, and by Lloyd, I mean me. Garmadon attacks once again, and this time we're playing as Nia and Zane. Funny enough about Zane, he will get more and more useless as the run goes on. I will explain. We get a few changes around here, just to, it's pretty standard at this point. By the way, I'm not doing a live counter because, well, I don't know how to do that, frankly. But this part was fun because we got to shoot little things out of the sky. And then, of course, another boss fight of Lloyd versus Garmadon again. I'm telling you, this beginning part is really repetitive. Next up, Garmadon gets hit with the ultimate weapon, and he's actually afraid for his life. But guess what? It does nothing except bring a cat. Yeah, if you've already seen the movie, then you know how this is gonna go. And of course, Lloyd loses the weapon somehow, even though, it's a big ultimate weapon. On the evacuation, we start getting a few more changes here and about there, because, well, we're actually starting to play as the ninja. And it starts with whenever we unlock a new ninja, things get a problem, because all of them can be fucking useful. This is gonna be a long one. By the way, I'm wanting to say right now, anytime I make a mistake and don't change to the right character, I count it as another one. We meet up with Master Wu, who wants to go on a journey alone, but of course our little ninja want to go with him because they realize how bitchless they are, and Wu is the master of Riz. And luckily enough, the game spawns us in as Wu. I don't know why, but hey, I'm appreciative for it, so that's not a change that we need. I start out with Zane, and by that I mean I ignore him because Zane, Kai, and Jay aren't going to be involved in this first little bit of the journey. And Zane's out here learning to play the guitar, so he can get some bitches. Clearly he's been listening to Master Wu, because again, Master Wu's the Riz Master. I'm so tired. Anyway, this first bit, mostly we need Wu and then Cole throughout this run. I didn't realize where Wu was, so I changed to him, and then I realized he was all the way back here, so fucking great. Lloyd actually became useful, and then I died on a parkour section more times than I can count. This attempt you're seeing was the 5th or 6th attempt. I'm not even joking. Finally, we got lucky because we transferred to Cole, and Wu learns Spinjitzu. The game automatically transfers us to Wu, so again, it doesn't count towards us. But at this point, we're kind of decent into the game, and there haven't been that many changes. A couple more later to Cole, or Nia, I don't know. And then Cole becomes useful again. Why? Because he's the first one to unlock his Spinjitzu. It's not really stated how all the characters do it, it's honestly made of a joke that a few of them just develop it out of nowhere, but hey, he can fly now, right? They fly now? They fly now. But anyway, we get to use Cole for a while, actually, so there's a good amount of the little bit of the intro jungle area that I won't talk about because you can do it all as Cole. It's pretty great. Then we get into a boss fight of Wu versus Garmadon. By the way, this is another fight where you don't exactly need to change characters, so yay. And of course, as soon as the fight is over, even though we won, Wu gets flushed down away. Wait. Sorry, I lost my train of thought and I don't know what page of the script I'm on. Zane tries to become useful by obtaining his spin jutsu, but you'll see later why it really isn't relevant that he gains his spin jutsu. Yes, he has ice, but his crossbow is now completely useless. So, we try and get into the level, and of course, you know, we do have to freeze some stuff. And I'll tell you, it's pretty great. And Garmadon and Nia are needed for this. By the way, you'll see one thing that I found is throughout all of my changes, there's something really cool that I discovered. And that's, I don't need to change to Garmadon to put him onto the pad. I can just hit him or push him a few times. Like, it takes a minute, but I discovered it, and I really didn't want to make any changes, so this is what it's all about here, people. I mean, I'm not going to change to someone just because the game wants me to. If I can avoid it, I'm going to. See? Like that. Anyway, we do this a couple of more times, and yes, this is at like 1.5 speed. But then we have a few more changes scattered about, and it's freaking lovely. This guy I managed to do a kill on, but it killed me. Did some more changes, and then you'll never guess who unlocked their power. Nia unlocked it out of nowhere. Like, Jay jokes about it that she just picked up her powers out of nowhere. I'm like, for real? Okay. Then we ran into an army of generals that captured Lloyd and Garmadon for some reason, but yeah. So then the ninjas all hide, Zane at a decent spot. We don't know what Kai did to that ostrich, but it was never seen again, without needing a therapist. Jay unlocked his lightning abilities, which were weird, but you know what? We like Jay. We don't know what part of the spectrum he is. We get a few changes later, and then I change back to Jay just to make sure that I'd actually use him. This is annoying. This Ninjanuity thing. Shut up. Sorry, that was my phone. Anyway, we get to launch another guy into the stratosphere, and again, how did the ninja not break their legs? I changed back to Cole again, another Jay, and then I took a fire at a cannon, and let me tell you, this is honestly about as much fun, this little segment, as Skull and Bones was. I play as Zane, and then I immediately realized my mistake. See, I changed back to Jay to power up a generator, and then there's this ranged target. So I got curious. Did you know that any character's spin jutsu can hit ranged targets? That's right. Zane is completely useless throughout all of this. But hey, we finally get to rescue Lloyd and Garmadon. And Lloyd, unlike in the movie, actually has a power. It's just green. But, yeah, it's basically OP because he can make everything. Can he make a path for me to win the game right now? No? Okay. Alright, anyway, there's just a big fight segment here with not a whole lot happening until the puzzle, where you have to be Lloyd to build something, Garmadon to pull something, Cole to hit something, and then Jay to throw lightning at something, yada yada yada. Anyway, we finally arrive at the Cold Mountain where, yeah, this is a lot. By the way, see this cool statue of Wu? We're beating it up. Why? Because Wu's dead. We don't care, we just are. Zane, of course, is useless, so Cole. A lot of changes later, Kai finally makes himself useful and gains his powers. Seriously, like, we're borderline near the end of the game here and this dude just awakened his power. Like, I know they can't give it to all the ninja at once, but come on, dude. And you know what? It's alright. It's not alright. I'm not a big fan of this. Almost immediately we had to switch away from him and keep switching back to him, which sucks. Nia got lost. Kai was it again. Lloyd is it again. And what the fuck? How did we get here? Wait, hang on. What page of the script am I on? Oh, that's right. Okay. This is a flashback sequence between Garmadon and Lloyd's mom. A couple fun things happen. See that Lloyd's mom was taking people to the stratosphere before Lloyd ever was. Garmadon gets subbed in. And yeah, more things happen. Garmadon shows that he can also take people to the stratosphere. There is so goddamn much that's going on here. More changes later, and you'll never guess what. We're back in the present. I don't know why we took that detour, but we did. And it's revealed that the ultimate weapon that we're here for is at Garmadon's childhood home. And you'll never guess where the key is. Yeah, it's under the rug. Surprised no one's taken it yet. There are a lot of people on this mountain that we encountered. Garmadon, of course, betrays us and takes the ultimate weapon because he wants to rule Ninjago, and Lloyd is being a whiny bitch about it. I mean, dude, your dad is the embodiment of evil, supposedly. Of course he's going to betray you, you dumb bitch. And why does he have that thing? I thought it crashed. I thought that was the whole point. What the hell? In our attempt, because Lloyd was depressed, he wanted us to jump off the building. So we did. And of course, it immediately transitions into Wu being on Lloyd's dragon and dropping us back in the city. Excuse me? We didn't even get a whole lot of time to process that Wu was alive, but whatever. We're in the home stretch now, so of course I'm just going to talk over all these changes because, well, let's be honest, you might be watching, but you're more curious for the final answer. Will my phone shut the fuck up? Sorry. Okay, by the way, I would like to point out that I made this mistake of changing to the wrong character a few times. That all counts. It all counts. And then finally, we get another fight again where things are pretty easy. See, if you save the thing that lets your hands glow for bosses, you get to cheese the fights. And honestly, that's pretty much it. That's all there is to the fighting. One last change to Kai, and then finally, the story ends. Lloyd takes off his mask to confront Meowthra. Why can I not say confront? Good God, these games are really dumbing my mind. But anyway, that's actually the end of the story here. He does a talk no jutsu, and psych, we get to destroy Ninjago. This section is kind of like an epilogue, and again, each character is perfectly viable for this one, so you don't need to change it all. But you know what? I hope you guys have a fantastic day. We ended up with a total of 72 changes. And you know what, again, y'all have a fantastic day. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one, and let me know what game you guys want me to cover, or whatever in the next challenge. Have a great day.